It's match day. Over 30,000 supporters head to King Power Stadium, the home of Leicester City Football Club. Around the world, thousands of Foxes supporters are undergoing a very different matchday experience, one that involves alarm clocks ringing in the night or even no sleep at all. It's a story of commitment and love, from the twilight-lit streets of New York, sleepy Swedish suburbs, or down below the Acropolis of Athens. Throughout the 2018-19 season, we visited our passionate fans around the world to witness firsthand what it takes to be a member of the International Blue Army. The joy, the sacrifices, the pride. These are the lives of our faraway Foxes. This is their story.
And Hallsberg, where I live, is a rather small place. It's about 2 hours drive from Stockholm, 1 hour 20 minutes on the fast train. It's a small place, as I said, 8,000 people live there. And we usually call it the Wild West town because it's just one street. The major employer in Hallsberg is the railways, both working on the railways or driving trains and so on. Volvo has been a major employer in Hallsberg, so a lot of people have got their living through Volvo, so Volvo is very important for Hallsberg. Well, as Hallsberg is a very small place, and the people are mostly very friendly and you can rely on people. There's not much criminality, and the friends that I have are very tight. We live in what we consider a very nice part of Sweden. A lot of lakes where we go swimming in the summer, a lot of forest, we go picking mushrooms in the autumn, and it's nice to live in Hallsberg. It's small, but it's nice. I support Leicester because Leicester was one of the first teams that was shown on Swedish TV when Swedish TV started to broadcast English football back in 1969. The third game on that show was Leicester-Cardiff. Well, since then I've supported Leicester City, and in those years back in the 70s it wasn't so easy to support Leicester because they weren't shown a lot in Swedish television, and you had to wait until the Monday to get the results in the newspapers. But as the commercial channels came on TV, it was easier to support them. And back in 1999, we went over to see Leicester the first time live. And that was, at that time, I founded the Blue Army Sweden.
it's my good friend Søren who started it in the end of the 90s. So and from there it's just gone bigger and bigger. And we have realized we have a lot of Leicester fans in Sweden. It's not so funny to be on your own supporting a team. It's very important to be a gang coming together and be able to talk about the games afterwards and so on. It's very nice to be a part of Blue Army Sweden. We experience a lot together, ups and downs, and our travels to Leicester is fantastic.
Blue Army Sweden is just exactly like Leicester City. It's a family. We're a small family, but we are a family, and that's very nice. To watch Leicester City on TV, that's the main thing we do. Sometimes all of the members of Blue Army Sweden gather together in a pub. We go to Stockholm to watch Leicester in a pub. But usually we sit at home, watch on TV. Sometimes we gather a few of us together, have a few snacks and maybe some malt refreshments. It would be great if the pub that we have in Hallsberg would show the Leicester games, but it doesn't. So we have to stay at home, watch together, or as I said, we go to Stockholm to watch in a pub there. It's a big joy to watch football with friends, and especially when we go over to Leicester to watch Leicester live. That's the top of the life, I would say. My favorite Leicester game was the remembrance fixture against Derby in 2010. Leicester had a Swedish manager then, and he invited us to come and visit him in the manager's lounge after the game, and he was very nice to us. He gave us something to eat, a bottle of beer and a glass of wine, and we enjoyed really much. The first question that Sven asked me when we met, he asked, "How many are we?" And I don't know if he ever got to find out how many we are, but I think he was surprised to find Swedes in Leicester.
I wish I could see more games, but we shall not complain. We can see about 10 games per season. It's not too bad. But we also go over and see 2 or 3 games per season. And we meet so many lovely people there. And everyone takes care of us, and the club takes very good care of us when we are there. We are very impressed with the way the football club handles its international fans. It's not only the football. We love the city as well and the surroundings, and we try to be cultural when we're there and go to museums and other sites of interest. So and we do love the pubs as well. So it's very nice.
It means a lot to me. Visit England, visit Leicester with Sir and the other boys and girls in the fan club, and the community in Leicester is so great, I think, in the pubs. And they ask you, "Oh, are you from Sweden?" "Yes, we are." "You're mad going here to Leicester." I understand that. Every time I go there, I feel joy in my heart. That's real fun.
So before we go over to Leicester, I'd just like to have a rundown of the memorabilia I have here, things that mean a lot to me. And I'd like to start with a signed picture I have of the King of Leicester. It means a lot to me to have that one. The champions, Mr. Ranieri and Kasper Schmeichel, and the smiley face of Christian Fuchs in between them. And if we want to sing a song, we have the lyrics on the wall. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. That's not a bad one. And of course, I have a signed photo of the guy that scored 11 consecutive goals, Jamie Vardy. And that was a big moment as a Leicester fan when he scored the 11th goal against Manchester United. I have a signed photo of a young player, Josh Knight. But I think that's a coming guy. I think we can expect a lot from him in the future. as I started to support Leicester already in 1969. I also treasure the older players as well, as this one, Lenny Glover. This is a clip from a magazine that he has signed. My father gave it to me sometime in the 80s, so this is also very special to me. And I also have a signed photo of one of my earliest idols, Frank Worthington. If we want to have a look at that one, we can look at the wall over here. Well, as we said before, the reason I started to support Leicester City was because of the Swedish TV show Tips Extra. And I've got the book here, and if we fold up the pages, we can read here that on the December 13, 1969, the third game in the Tips Extra show was Leicester Cardiff. The game ended 2-1 for Cardiff. And from that on, I supported Leicester, and I've supported Leicester ever since. And that's the reason why we go to King Power Stadium. And if you don't mind, I have a plane to catch, so see you later. Hello, Victor.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sir.
Victor, nice to meet you.
Stefan.
I'm Victor.
Hello, Mr. Hurringen.
Victor. Hello. Hello. So, hello. You alright?
Mark, couldn't we have a photo? Couldn't we have a photo?
Yeah, of course.
With our favorite player. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care. Good luck.
See ya. Thank you very much. See ya. Down here is the same as we have at the training ground, which is 97% grass and 3% synthetic. So every morning they take a temperature so it matches up with the one at the training ground. So it's the same grass. Is that your space? All right.
High up there.
Double K.
SK4.
Wherever you sit, you have a great view.
Yeah.
Wherever you sit.
The higher the better.
Yeah.
All right, so we move on to the director's box.
Good. Fine.
Perfect. Next up, we're going through the tunnel
Yes.
to see the player changing rooms.
Great.
Yep, let's go. Yeah, so as you see, this is the home changing room.
Oh, there's the painting. Yeah.
So yeah, showers and cold bath, hot bath, big pool.
I think this is redone, isn't it? Because we were inside that one years ago, and it was different. No TVs. And
The changing room. And there's some beautiful kitmans. All three of them. This is Maka. And this is Henry.
hello,
H.
Maka. We met before.
And this is Rob.
I remember,
With the trophy, you know.
I remember,
That's the big man. That's the chef.
Victor, where is your shirt?
Yeah, it's. I think they forgot it.
It's in the lawn. It's in the lawn.
So we're outside. Yeah. Nice Swedish weather. Looks bigger down here than up there.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And the new screens, they are really big.
Yeah.
I've noticed all the flags up here. What are all they about?
That's a blessing from the monks. As you can see, it's all the way around, except the away team fans of the area. So to give us the blessing for the season. It's been a pleasure to show you guys around, and I hope you continue supporting as you have been. And up to Leicester.
There you go.
Well said, thank you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
very much, Victor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I enjoyed it too. Thank you. See you later.
We have a tour with Victor Hansen. He's one of the Swedish new goalkeepers. It's going to be fantastic. He gave us a fine tour around the area. This is a family club. You can go and see all the things. I think it's I'm amazed of it. This is so big to go around the arena. It's also a Swede in the team is so fantastic. It's really good. It's fantastic to come over and see a home game and meeting friends and over the years and just watch the game. It's fantastic. I think many people knows now because we are everywhere. So, and talks and speak football, and that's the way it is. So you build up your community over here. We have them on all the Facebook and Instagram and everything, so we talks a lot on the time we're not here. So it's it's fantastic to meet new people. It's so nice to be here with all the people watching the same game and supporting the one team. That's the real thing. You know, in Sweden we a couple of guys watching the telly. And it's of course it's a good game, but coming here and see it with all the other people live, that's the best thing. In Sweden we are a small family watching just for Leicester City, but coming over here, this is a very big family and we are part of it.
York Foxes started in August 2011. My brother and I were feeling pretty bullish about the club after a few dark years. Couldn't be shy, and Top took over. Sven was the manager. We really felt like things were turning around at the club. We looked around and we realized that New York City had all of these supporters groups together, but there was no Leicester group. And at that time, there weren't very many games on TV. So we wanted to make sure that Leicester fans in New York or folks who were here on holiday knew that there were other fans here and there was a place for them to watch games. For years, would get lots of strange looks or people who had no idea what Leicester was. It was not a normal thing to be a Leicester City fan in New York. And when we started, it really wasn't mainstream to be a football fan or a soccer fan, especially a team like Leicester, who was not one of the big sides like the famous Manchester United or Chelsea or Arsenal, one of those teams. And really have noticed that sort of how things have changed in New York. When people first started to notice the club, nobody could pronounce the name right. It was always Leicester. And then it changed and everybody was asking me about Leicester. And then Leicester sort of became everyone's second team if you already had picked one once the Premier League became really big. And then it changed from that. And friends and colleagues would come up to me and say, like, "Oh, did you see that Leicester game? And Vardy scored." And it's just incredible just to see that change right before my eyes over all these years. And now anyone who knows me knows all about Leicester.
Basically, I got sucked in by Jason and Jordan Becker here, and they run the New York Foxes. And I didn't really have like a Premier League team at the time, and they were actually in the championship. This is our club, this is who we support, but it's great being able to get out there and around football create a community with the other supporters clubs and just be able to hang out and have chants back and forth. And it's fun because we usually have said we have more fun losing than others have winning, and it's true that no matter what, we're having fun and we're supporting each other, and we're there as a community first and foremost, not to be aggressive and crazy and like making it a negative experience. And so because that positivity was around it, it's just been amazing. And then being able to see that not just they're just a reflection of how the club is run as well. It is a family unit, and I'm super attracted to that community aspect to it.
I'm born and brought up in Leicestershire. My hometown is Burbage. I started going to the games in the 90s actually, so back when we were in Filbert Street. My first game was Leicester v Tottenham in 1997, and everything grew from there. I moved to the United States in 2003 to New York City. It was originally supposed to be a 6-month secondment here. It ended up being the rest of my life, but it's been up for 15 years now. Jordan and Jason Becker, who founded the New York Foxes, are truly inspirational Leicester fans. They are loyal. They are here at 7:30 on a Saturday morning if that's when the games are on. They'll always be here, and they've done so much to build the brand of Leicester City in New York over the years. They're almost like adopted sons of Leicester. They care not only for the football team but also for the city of Leicester, and it's really a pleasure to watch the games with them and to have got such great friends with them.
Couldn't even begin to, I think, count the number of friendships and great relationships that I've made because of New York Foxes. And for years it almost felt like this was something I just shared with two of my brothers. My twin brother Jordan, who is the one who started New York Foxes with me and is the reason why I became a Leicester fan in the first place when Casey Keller was on the side in '98, and our youngest brother Ryan had no choice. He was brought up as a Leicester fan from day one, and it really hit us the year that we won the league, and we looked around and saw how many folks we were sharing this with, and it was just so special, and it was so great to see how many folks have come into the fold and really how deep the relationships are with everyone. The Football Factory has been our home from the very beginning, and I can't say enough about Jack Keane and what he does there and how he built that place from scratch. And you'll see that it's not just us, and one of the great things about the bar is there are fans from all over the world. So not just England, but all throughout Europe, North America, South America, everything comes together in such a great atmosphere, and there's so much energy and banter between everyone. And it's a great location right by the Empire State Building. It's so easy to get to, and it's just been a natural home and a great place for us from the beginning.
I saw a huge void when I arrived over here for a proper football bar. Certainly places were showing football at the time, but they wouldn't concentrate on it. And when we got into the new year and the rugby began, I was amazed these places would literally change their screens over, or maybe put a screen at the back of the bar for the football. So I kind of picked up on that and said, you know, I'm going to have a bar that shows nothing but football. And I stuck to my guns over the years. And most importantly, that's been the key to the success. These guys have been loyal to a fault. The original interest in Leicester was because Casey Keller was the goalkeeper at Leicester, and these lads, being American, picked up on that. And they have been here, and this is the key again to the success of the New York Foxes, week in, week out. These lads are here, 7:30 kickoffs, 10 o'clock, whatever the kickoffs, whatever the competition. The big blue flag, New York Foxes, is flying, and you know, we're here and ready to go. And it's just continuity, always being here.
So before the New York Foxes really hit the scene here and the games were available to watch easily at the Football Factory, it was not easy to be a Leicester fan in New York watching the games. Obviously for some of that time, Leicester were not in the Premier League, so the games weren't televised, and even if they were, it wasn't really possible to watch them in the US. So when I look back now at that time compared to what we have now, it's really quite amazing how easy it is in many ways to be a fan, but it's also because I think Leicester, particularly the New York Foxes, and the outreach and the connection between the club and the supporters has facilitated that and made watching the games a great sort of almost family experience here in New York.
So when you have to watch a game early in the morning at 7:30 a.m., we'll end up dragging ourselves out of bed on a Saturday. 7:30 a.m., you'll get to the bar, pop open a cider, and start drinking and having fish and chips or a burger or something that early in the morning. So your day starts off early and kind of ends early because you're already feeling good by about, noon. But it's a great atmosphere still. We bring it that early in the morning no matter what. So it's early, late, doesn't really matter to us. We want to just be there and having fun and having that camaraderie. I get asked why I support Leicester City all the time. It's like, why Leicester? Oh, you're a bandwagon fan. It's like, no, it's because of the family. And then I bring them over to Football Factory and they get to experience. They're like, all right, we see what's going on here. You guys have just nothing but fun, and you guys get to support something that's all positive. So they understand after they see it, but they don't understand it until they see it. So when it comes down to being a supporter, you want to be loud and you need to bring your game no matter what. Like if it's a rough game to watch or anything like that, you want to be putting yourself in it and making it so it's an enjoyable experience. Because if you're not making it an enjoyable experience, then it's not. So being able to get there early in the morning and start singing songs no matter what. And if you're on a low level, we make it louder because it makes us feel like we're more intense. And even though we're thousands of miles away from Leicester, our voices might be heard. And they are. Like we're doing this right now, which is fantastic. And it's an amazing time to be able to just like make everybody part as a unit. Whether it's 7:30 in the morning, whether it's 4 in the afternoon, no matter what time. If it's middle of the day and a work day on a Wednesday, we are still like in it. So it's fantastic to, no matter where you're at, no matter what time, you are still part of this club and still rooting for it and still talking about it and building that up, building that community up. So it's a fantastic experience no matter where you're at.
And I remember in particular the day that we won the Premier League when Chelsea were playing against Tottenham. That was obviously an afternoon time kickoff here in New York. So I was able to get out of the office to come down here and celebrate that. And it was a bit strange because everybody back home was doing that in the evening and not having to worry about going back to the office like I had to. America's a country that is passionate about sports. And New York is a city that is passionate about sports. So for people who are here, asking me about my passion for my team is something that's very natural. So it's always great to explain that I had a season ticket there, that it was the team that I grew up watching, and that now I'm here, I'm still able to watch the games with fellow Leicester supporters. And none of my New York friends can believe that there are Americans, New Yorkers, who've adopted Leicester as their team. They've maybe heard of some of the traditional teams of the Premier League, but knowing that Leicester has reached people here who may not have been fans of the sport many years ago is something that I think is really telling about what these guys have done and about what the team has achieved.
My favorite moment of being a Leicester fan, I think happened just before we won the league, and I was over for Liverpool home and Man City away that season, and just walking out of the Etihad and knowing that this was a real possibility that the club could win it just filled me with so much pride. And going back and seeing my brothers here after that trip and just experiencing that whole run-up with them, and knowing that, you know, they've been fans for so long, and it was just so much fun, and that whole time was just a daze. But I can't pick out one moment after that match that's my favorite, but that whole run-up was just probably the best time of my life.
It was remarkable in that every weekend, a good friend of mine who's a staff writer with ESPN, he's since moved from New York to the West Coast to work over there. Dave Hershey, very well known, very well respected writer. Dave would sit at the bar every Saturday or Sunday to write his piece on the Premier League. And he'd look at me and say, Jack, they're not going to do it, are they? And I'd say, no, Dave, there's no way Leicester can win the league. And each week we had this little tiny conversation about Leicester. And eventually it got down to that stage where, Dave, Leicester are going to win the league. And I'm like, 5,000 to 1, 5 million to 1. You know, all of this was just incredible. But I mean, the way the team played, you know, the two centre halves, I mean, Wesley Morgan and Robert Huth, and I mean, the way that these unknown players, obviously, Conte and Mahrez, and I mean, Jamie Vardy. I mean, it was just an amalgamation of fantastic effort, some quality that no one had ever heard of all of a sudden became quality, and this team spirit that was developed at Leicester, and it was the 5 million to 1 in my opinion anyway. I was thrilled for the boys because they were in tears. They were all in tears that night.
The day that it was all clinched was the daytime, late afternoon, early evening here when we clinched the league. And everybody was all over the place in New York. We had about 8 folks down at the bar watching the Spurs-Chelsea or Chelsea-Spurs, and everybody else was following. And it was so hard for me to concentrate on work that day, and I had the game streaming. And as soon as Hazard hit that goal, sent out a call and told everyone just to get down to Football Factory, and we just had a huge impromptu party. We did have a few bottles of champagne on ice that day. We had a huge group for the Man United game, just in case the title was clinched at Old Trafford. Everybody was waiting for this to happen. And all the Leicester fans knew that that it was right there. And at the end, we won it pretty comfortably. But the party was great. The bar stayed open late for us. They would have normally closed right after that Chelsea-Spurs match, but stayed open. And everyone just started coming in from all over the place. And it wasn't just Leicester fans. There were Italian fans that were in who fell in love with the team, folks from Algeria, fans of other clubs all around the world. Everyone just wanted to share in the experience with us. And it was just such a fun day, and we kept it going for the rest of the season, really throughout the summer. It was such a good time with everything that the club did, traveling around the world. So the celebrations and the good times didn't end that night. They only just started, really.
Everything began 5 years ago, and when I was in the 3rd class of senior high school, I was searching a Premier League team to support. I was already a supporter of a Greek team, and I still support the Greek team, but I was looking to find one English team to support because I find English football very attractive. So I used to watch every weekend Premier League games, and one day I saw one very fast thin guy with a strange haircut. He was Jamie Vardy. He was very passionate. I saw Riyad Mahrez, I saw Schmeichel, and I told to myself that here we are, Theo. This is your team. From today you are a Leicester City supporter. My first match, it was Leicester City against Manchester United, 5-3. I was shocked with what we did then. 5 goals against a very big club like Manchester United. I was very happy with my team. I was very happy with what Vardy did, to be honest. Day by day, week by week, I keep on watching Leicester on the TV. It was in October of 2015 when I created our page, our Facebook page.
I needed to believe in something, you know. I traveled a lot back then. I went to my best friend who was studying in Brighton, and I said, why not, let's watch a football game. We watched Leyton Orient versus Swindon or something like that back in 2011. So I said, that's it, you know, it clicked me right there. It's like I need to support a team from England, but I didn't know which one. Seasons passed and Leicester started to become, you know, more famous. The Great Escape was something big. We all learned about it, how they made it. And suddenly then Ranieri comes to the team. Ranieri was Greek's team coach, so I was, you know, it triggered me. Like the season was going over and the team was progressing and everything was going really great. So I say, I'm gonna go there. You know, I'm gonna watch a game from the King Power Stadium and feel the experience. The atmosphere was fantastic. It was amazing. I just, you know, I watched the goal, Okazaki's goal, the overhead kick, and I say, where am I? Like, I don't see that like often, and I don't remember. I cannot recall myself in those 2 minutes. You know, I watched the goal, and I'm like, something like this, like. What just happened? Like it can't be truth. Like I cannot believe what I'm seeing. After the Newcastle game, there was too much love inside me that couldn't be just buried inside me. You know, I had to share it with the world. So I had a very good friend of mine. He's a Valencia supporter, and he writes on their blog. He follows them, and he says to me, "Dude, there should be something, you know, like a Greek community or like something on Facebook. Just Google it and then it just pops up, you know, Hellenic supporters." And that's how I met Theo. Theo is like a god. He created the page. He started this when like no one knew about the team. You know, it's pure love from him too. So it's it was amazing meeting him and the other guys, of course. I started by writing pre-games and post-game analysis of the match, or at least how I can see the game, like how it went, and that's how we met. Theo is the architect, you know, of all of it. He created the group, he got all the other together, he found other guys from other places, because he didn't connect only with guys from his place, he connected with all Greece and Cyprus at the same time. I'm from Athens, he's from Amphissa, it's not close to Athens. We have a lot of fans in Cyprus right now, and it just gets bigger, you know. Every day you have like new likes.
Here in Greece, it's very rare to find Leicester City fans. We are not so popular here in Greece. You can easily find Manchester United fans, you can easily find Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City fans, whatever you want, but not Leicester. I think that when we won the league, more and more around the world learn about Leicester City and what is that team from England in the Premier League, the folks, everything about our team. And I believe that if we do something like this again and win matches, our popularity will grow up again, and more people around the world and in Europe, everywhere, will learn about Leicester City and our club.
You don't sell your love, you know, to other guys. You want my T-shirt? I sent you this thing online, and you just go and print it. I don't sell you my love, I mean, for the club. Or most of the times there are events about a little girl that maybe has cancer or something, and they want to raise money, they want to raise diapers, pampers, or whatever. We just help, you know, from what we have, when we can all of us collect and we just either give money or give maybe blood sometimes. We have also a football team. It's our third consecutive year right now that we play in this team. Okay, money that we pay for the games does not go anywhere, but hopefully there should be an event one day there.
It's something special for me because we are all dressed like Leicester City players and we have a Leicester feeling. We feel like we are professional football players for 50 minutes.
Of course, we like Leicester a lot. They were doing well. They were on top for a long time. I think from October, November, and we really liked what we were seeing. We wanted more and more because the team was getting addicted. It's nice being on top. It's nice playing good football. So we were watching it, and well, that season we had some big exams for university entrance. And this is what we were mostly doing. So we were waiting for the weekend to watch the Premier League games and Leicester. And we really, really liked it when we saw a nice sweet victory with a very good team. Well, then, you know, sometime later, they won the league. That helped. We felt kind of justified because we didn't start supporting them like in April, March. Started quite some time ago. You win the Premier League, you get an interest in Champions League. They made great use of this opportunity to propel the European profile of the team. Whole Europe is watching. It's not just about England anymore. It's about all the people in Europe that are watching football. It's the highest competition of football in the world. So that goes across the Atlantic too, maybe other places. This is huge. This is universal. It helped a lot with the mentality of the team that, you know, we're not just an English team, just that, no, we're the champions, we're doing well in European level, and we have a character. We're winners. We're not what you might have thought we are anymore.
I am a professional chess player in Athens mostly. Every school has chess as a part of, not during the school hours, after school is finished. So we go there, we teach the kids chess. At first, you know, like 2015, 2016, nobody knew Leicester. Even if we were first and we were champions, afterwards we went to the Champions League. So all this, all the kids that I teach, they used to collect these stickers, you know, and they put it to the albums. That's how the kids and maybe their parents even started to know Leicester. Everybody knows Jamie Vardy now. All the kids know Jamie Vardy. They don't actually have like a t-shirt with Vardy, but they know him, you know. I start to feel more familiar. It's better for me this way. And this is how the club, I think, is gonna get bigger, you know, with hopefully maybe we can join Europe again, maybe the next season or whatever. And I think it's gonna get even bigger.
I was really happy when we were in Champions League. I was sure that we can pass the first 4 teams. I was really sure that we can win all of them. I was really disappointed when we lost from Atletico Madrid. But okay, we are in top 10 and I hope that we can stay there and maybe one day win Champions League trophy. I don't know. I really hope to do something like that in the future.
We had this 2004 Euro with Greece, okay, yeah, people went crazy. It was the first time in my life that It didn't matter who you were, you just were friends with everyone else surrounding you. You were a family, you know, you were having a reason to have a bond with them and be one. You know, you were like 1 million and you were actually one, not 1 million.
They both won. They were the underdogs. There are reasons. And I believe that the three of them, there are three by the way, my opinion, one is that they were very well coached. The other one is that they had very clutch players getting the job done whenever necessary. And the third one is what I call the champion's luck. Let's start with them being well coached. They were very solid. They were very adaptive. No one could break through them more than once. And most of them this is enough. The ball won't get through. That's what we need. Now let's get it forward. Forward, you know, we had very, very good players. In Leicester you had Vardy and Mahrez making a legendary season. In Greece you had some people who were not considered that good, but on that tournament they were very good. They had Tsiartas, Charisteas, Zagorakis. They were all they were very close. You know, you gave them half an opportunity. That was a goal. That was enough. And the last one is a little bit of luck, because without it, nobody will make a good enough run. It doesn't matter how good you are. Greece, for example, in the semi-final, Nedved was out at some point. He was out, and he was big for Czech Republic. He was not there after a certain point. That helped. That helped a lot. Let's not lie. Crossbar by Rosicki. And you could make the same argument for Leicester. There were some games that could have easily been a draw, and the ball happened to be on the right place at the right time. The ball goes in, 3 points. That's big, and you need all of those things. I believe it's 50% being well coached, and not just, you know, how you set up the team, how you have selected the players, personalities, everything, the whole package. People who are willing to get the job done and, you know, being clutch, just being there for the team, being there, getting it done. And of course, you know, 10% of it is luck. All of them have it.
In 1998, Theo Zagorakis was in Leicester for 2 years, but I want a Greek player now in Leicester City. We haven't got a lot, but I want a Greek player now in Leicester City. Near Vardy, with Schmeichel, with Maguire, with all those guys. I don't know who, but I want one player. Here in Greece, when we see someone who do it, who transfer to an English team, it's something very special for us. Good football players are playing here in Greece for Panathinaikos, Olympiakos, AEK, but of course, if you see someone with Premier League games, like Socrates, Mavropanos, Cholevas, and the other guys, I think is a success for Greek football. It's a great success for Greek football. This is my passion. Leicester City, it's something very, very important for me. Of course, it's only football. It's only football team, but I can express several feelings with Leicester City: happiness, sadness, almost everything. So I'm anxious 1 hour before every game, like I am player.
We have to be family, you know, like I have to visit my mother and my sister, and we have to watch the game all together. We don't have a reason like, you know, we have a reason at Easter, at Christmas or whatever, but when Leicester plays, I go and see my family, you know, and we all together, we watch the game. It doesn't matter if my mom doesn't know anything about football, or if she like wastes her time at internet, or if she just sits with me and we watch the game. And that's what about, that is what about, you know, football is about. Football is about being with who you love. It should be like going to the theater, going to the movies. It should be art, you know, that's football for me, and that's why I support Leicester now.
So will it be capital gains today for Leicester City? Can they make it a third straight away win, and with that inflict a fourth defeat on the spin on the Hammers? The two teams are just emerging, and the London Stadium drenched in Easter sunshine on Easter Saturday. Lee Probert happy with the head count, so starts for Johnny Evans, and Mark Albrighton makes his first start since picking up a hamstring injury over 2 months ago. We're just going through the pre-match drills. There'll be a shake of the hands between the two captains, and it will be Noble to get us underway. West Ham will play from left to right, as I say, and we are underway at the London Stadium. Snodgrass, lay off to Noble, who wants it back. Here he is. This time the ball does come in. Antonio is in there, and Mikhail Antonio with a firm header. 37 gone, beats Kasper Schmeichel, and West Ham United take the lead. Ricardo, ball in field to Tielemans. Harry Maguire, Chilwell to his left, here he is. Vardy in the box, there's the ball in, looking for Vardy! And Jamie Vardy has scored! 66 gone, and Vardy sticks out his big toe and gets his 16th in the Premier League this season. Vardy making the run to the near post area, terrific ball in from Chilwell, and Jamie Vardy gets Leicester City level. West Ham United 1, Leicester City 1. Anderson. Strike from distance, oh, it's off the post, and put it on the follow-up by Lucas Perez. He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes, but Lucas Perez on the follow-up puts West Ham back ahead. Here is Harvey Barnes, that's a good ball for Iheanacho. Tielemans looking for Harvey Barnes, who's into the box, and Harvey Barnes has scored! An equaliser for Leicester City in the first minute of time added on. West Ham United 2, Leicester City 2, and a first goal in the Premier League for Harvey Barnes in Leicester City colours.
I have faith. I believe that we can find more Greek Leicester fans because we have LCFC Alas Greek page. Okay, everyone will like our page, everyone can see what we are upload, but if I want more Greek fans.
We want to be a home for all Leicester fans. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. If you're an American, we'd much rather you be a Leicester fan than some of those other guys. It's too easy to be a fan of anyone else. But there's so much, I think, that Leicester has to offer. So much that the club has to offer. There's such a connection that we have with the club that we try to bring back to New York and make other people feel. And I think when people reach out to us on social media, we're trying to be as welcoming as possible and extend that to when we see them in person, and hopefully everybody feels the love, and people come back all the time, and we've got a good group and we're always growing, and I think we always have more fun than anyone else there.
Leicester has become a second home to us, and we socialize a lot. We made a lot of friends in Leicester thanks to social media and the fact that we have a Blue Army Sweden website as well. So we made a lot of very, very good friends in Leicester, and I really enjoy coming over every time.
first match you saw was...
I forgot all my English words.
Oh, you don't want to hear my name. Don't, no, it's Xylogiannopoulos. And I have another name also, it's Antonios Xylogiannopoulos. Okay, all of it.
Spelling it out.
Spelling it out, yeah.
Oh dear.
So we know how to write it when we put a little name tag on.
So, isn't it easy if I write it?
Spell it.
Yes, please.
I can, ja. Göran Wilhelmsson.
Can you spell that for us?
No, not in English.
Not in English.
Nej, vad ska jag ha dem till?
Okay. From the top, so take 2.1.
Remember, to be honest with you. Let me think a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. Say the question again, let me think about it again.
We good? You want to just take a seat inside the light bag? That'd be fun.
Yeah? Oh, all right. Oh, thank you. No, you guys brought the best out of me, I think.